Here are the 3 keynotes for the motivational speech titled, "The Moment You Refuse to Quit, Your Life Changes Forever." Keynote 1, The Defining Power of Refusal, Turning Pain into Purpose. Every great transformation begins with a decision, a moment when you choose not to give up. Life will always test your limits, but the power to rise lies in your refusal to surrender. This decision separates achievers from dreamers, and believers from quitters. The moment you refuse to quit, your pain transforms into fuel, and every setback becomes a stepping stone to growth. Keynote 2, The Science of Consistency, Building Strength Through Small Wins. Refusing to quit doesn't mean ignoring failure, it means learning through it. Consistency, not perfection, builds champions. Success is often hidden in daily discipline, in the small, repetitive actions that strengthen your mind, sharpen your focus, and prepare you for greater challenges. The longer you persist, the more you train your brain to see obstacles as opportunities. Keynote 3, The Transformation from Survival to Significance. When you choose not to quit, you do more than survive, you evolve. Your identity shifts from being a victim of circumstances to a creator of destiny. You no longer react to life, you lead it. That moment of inner refusal becomes the birth of your purpose, your power, and your new path. The world may not change instantly, but you will, and that's where transformation truly begins. Keynote 1, The Defining Power of Refusal, Turning Pain into Purpose. There comes a moment in every person's life when the weight of struggle feels unbearable, when failure whispers that you're not good enough, and doubt begins to drown your dreams. It's in this moment that life offers you a silent question: will you quit, or will you rise? The choice you make right there defines not just your future, but who you become as a human being. Refusing to quit is not just an act of willpower, it's a declaration of purpose. It is saying to yourself, I may be tired, but I am not done. I may be broken, but I am not defeated. That refusal marks the turning point, because every time you say no to giving up, you are saying yes to growth, yes to courage, and yes to the best version of yourself waiting on the other side of pain. Pain, in itself, is a powerful teacher. It humbles you, shapes you, and introduces you to strengths you didn't know existed. Many people run from it, but those who endure it learn that behind every painful challenge is a hidden opportunity, a chance to rebuild with more wisdom, more focus, and more gratitude. When you refuse to quit, your pain becomes your purpose. Every scar becomes a lesson, and every failure becomes a foundation for something greater. Look at the lives of those who have achieved greatness, not just in wealth or fame, but in character and contribution. You will notice one common thread: they refused to quit when it was easiest to do so. They pushed through criticism, rejection, and exhaustion because they understood a universal truth: the human spirit was built to endure. Resilience is not a gift reserved for a few, it is a muscle that grows stronger every time you use it. Refusal is a decision of identity. It's no longer about external motivation or temporary inspiration. It becomes internal, a promise you make to yourself that no matter what stands in your way, you will not back down. When that conviction takes root, your life begins to shift. You stop chasing quick success and start building meaningful progress. You stop comparing your path to others and start focusing on your own journey. The defining power of refusal lies in transformation. When you refuse to quit, you rewrite your story. You move from a mindset of limitation to a mindset of possibility. Your failures no longer define you, your persistence does. And in that persistence, you discover something extraordinary: you were never meant to live a life of ease, you were meant to live a life of purpose. That's the moment your life truly begins to change, not when you achieve victory, but when you decide that quitting is no longer an option. Because once you refuse to quit, nothing in this world can truly stop you. Keynote 2, The Science of Consistency, Building Strength Through Small Wins. Refusing to quit is the first step, but staying consistent is what turns that decision into destiny. Success is not built in a single day of inspiration, it's built in the quiet, ordinary moments when no one is watching, when the excitement fades, and all that remains is your commitment. Consistency is the invisible bridge between who you are and who you want to become. Many people underestimate the power of small, consistent actions. They believe success requires grand achievements, but the truth is that greatness grows from repetition. A student who studies one chapter a day learns more than the one who studies all night before an exam.
An athlete who trains daily, even for a few minutes, builds more strength than one who trains intensely once a month.
The key is not perfection, it's persistence. Consistency trains both your mind and your emotions. When you repeat an action, it begins to shape your identity.
Each small win tells your brain, I am capable.
I am progressing.
Over time, this builds confidence and discipline, two of the strongest pillars of personal success. You start to trust yourself, and that trust becomes your power.
Science supports this truth: habits create results.
The brain thrives on patterns, and when those patterns are repeated positively, they lead to transformation. Each time you choose consistency over comfort, you're rewiring your brain to handle pressure, focus better, and recover faster from setbacks.
That's why consistency is more than routine, it's psychological strength in motion.
It's important to remember that consistency doesn't mean never failing, it means never giving up after you fail.
Missing one day doesn't matter, what matters is showing up the next. Each small effort counts because progress is rarely visible in the beginning, but over time, those small steps multiply into something powerful.
In life, consistency is the quiet force behind every lasting achievement. The moment you commit to small, steady growth, you start building the foundation of mastery. It may take time, but the results are inevitable.
Consistency turns ordinary people into extraordinary achievers.
Because when you stay consistent long enough, life has no choice but to reward your discipline.
Keynote 3: The Transformation from Survival to Significance.
When you refuse to quit and stay consistent, something profound begins to happen: you transform. You move beyond the stage of merely surviving life's challenges and step into a state of significance, where every struggle starts to serve a higher purpose. The battles that once drained you now become the very experiences that define your strength and wisdom.
Transformation doesn't happen overnight. It begins quietly, inside your mindset. You stop asking, why is this happening to me, and start asking, what is this teaching me?
That single shift turns pain into progress and chaos into clarity. You begin to see yourself not as a victim of circumstances but as an architect of your own destiny.
Refusing to quit changes your energy, it awakens a deep sense of purpose. You start leading your life intentionally rather than reacting to every obstacle. Challenges no longer scare you, they shape you. Every hardship becomes a lesson, every delay a preparation, and every failure a redirection towards something greater. As this transformation unfolds, you realize success is not just about achieving goals, it's about becoming someone stronger, wiser, and more compassionate through the journey. The moment you decide not to quit, you align your heart, mind, and soul toward growth, and that harmony gives birth to true significance. The world around you may take time to notice your change, but you will feel it first. You'll walk with quiet confidence, face challenges with calm courage, and inspire others not by words, but by example. That's the ultimate victory, when your perseverance not only changes your own life but becomes a light for others still struggling in the dark. That's the power of refusing to quit, it transforms survival into significance. Conclusion: the moment you refuse to quit, everything changes.
In the end, life isn't defined by how many times you fall, it's defined by how many times you choose to rise.
The moment you refuse to quit, your story takes a new direction. You stop being a prisoner of your past and become the author of your future. Every struggle, every disappointment, and every sleepless night begins to make sense because they are no longer signs of weakness, they are signs of becoming. Refusing to quit does not mean the road will be easy, it means you have decided that no obstacle will be powerful enough to stop you. That single decision rewrites everything. It turns fear into fuel, failure into feedback, and uncertainty into opportunity. The same fire that once tried to destroy you now becomes the fire that drives you forward. Remember, the difference between ordinary and extraordinary lies in one simple act: not giving up when it's hardest to go on. The greatest victories in history were not won by those who never failed, but by those who never quit. So, when life tests your patience, when your dreams seem far away, and when the world tells you to stop, stand firm. Breathe deeply. Remind yourself that your journey is far from over. Because the moment you refuse to quit, your life doesn't just continue, it transforms forever.